Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering. Here we have Ben on Junk Depths versus Matt on Elves, a deck that's greatly improved with the advent of Allosaurus Shepherd. Despite Plague Engineer being one of the most played creatures in the format, Elves is a menace to be sure, very powerful, plays a lot like a vintage deck, as you're able to have a draw engine in the form of Wirewood Symbiote and Elvish Visionary, along with, of course, Glimpse of Nature. Many ways to draw, just a lot of cards. And we also have the tutoring ability, typically reserved for those more busted formats. You know, cards like Demonic Tutor go a long way. And Green Sun Zenith certainly can do that. And then on top of it, you have like a Tinker effect, where you can get a really good deal on a tutoring effect and get it into the battlefield. So something like Craterhoof Behemoth or Archon of Valor's Reach are pretty devastating. Now, we've got Elvish Reclaimer and the ability to tutor up the Dark Depths. So from here... Oh, did you just play it? Oh, it's convenient. So didn't even need to tutor it up. Not that it would have made a huge difference. It would have just been end step tutor. And we got a Glimpse of Nature from Matt. So this actually could be it. Don't blink. There's a lot of potential. Anytime your opponent leads out with Glimpse of Nature and it resolves with Elves, you don't know if it's just going to draw a couple of cards or literally let them draw through their entire deck. It will depend on where this goes. Allosaurus Shepherd drawing card number 1. Now he can pick up Allosaurus Shepherd and recast it. Right now he's got 4 mana off of the Gaia's Cradle. Returning Allosaurus Shepherd does allow for the untapping of Dryad Arbor, which is so good in the deck. I think it's really, really important for people to get the reps in. Oh, and he's natural ordering. I don't think this is going to work out at all. Yeah, presumably going to get Archon of Valor's Reach to try and block the Merit Lage, which is incoming, but I'd imagine Sajiri's Step is just going to allow that to just not matter. I think you have to just keep drawing cards and hope to find Heritage Druid. Heritage Druid does allow for a big boost in mana, and then from there, you can maybe find some more Wirewood Symbiotes or Elvish Visionaries, draw more and more cards, and maybe get there. But this, I don't think, has any chance of getting there. Even if Ben draws the Sajiri Step return, he can just play it. It's not a big deal. It's not like it has to happen at instant speed. So we're going to get one more card off the top, and that'll wrap it up. In all likelihood, Ben's just going to be able to make a 20/20 during the end step. And he still has the 2 mana necessary. Yeah, as expected. Pro-green and turning sideways. Really, Merit Lage, Karakas is helpful, which is not really a card that Elves has access to. They don't even have any crop rotations anymore. At one point, Elves did enjoy being able to crop rotate Gaia's Cradle into more Gaia's Cradle. Not necessarily the most popular lists, but I've certainly done that in the past, and it was also a great budget option as you were increasing the number of Cradles that you were able to play in the deck. That said, Karakas isn't really the best card in Elves by any stretch. Even if you had a full set of crop rotation, it can potentially be dealt with. There's Pithing Needles and Wastelands, and Depths players are used to dealing with Karakas and Wasteland. That's their primary mode in terms of defense, is understanding the threats that are going to be thrown at them. Oh, I guess the answers that are going to be thrown at them. The threats would be the things actually winning the game, but the answers for Depths often are Wasteland and Karakas. In part because they can't be thought seized out of the hand, which is nice. And Matt fetching. Well, we see a Green Sun Zenith for 0. Excellent. It's a good start. Going into the second turn with 2 to 3 mana after your land drop. 3 mana, I should say, after your land drop. Really, really strong. And Gaia's Cradle can also be really explosive there because you already have the body on board. Oh, Wasteland takes out the Dryad Arbor. Elvish Reclaimer shows up. Mox Diamond enabling that. Quirion Ranger. And now the replay. And Wirewood Symbiote. So kind of everything's protected now. Unfortunately, that Green Sun Zenith does not allow you to get out an elf on the first turn. That Quirion Ranger's really strong at playing defense, protecting your mana base. Dryad Arbor can just get picked up in response. And, the clock is ticking. This Elvish Reclaimer can pull the whole combo together on its own. Oh, Gaia's Cradle. And Natural Order. This is going to be some serious damage. Oh no, Progenitus. Wow, is this going to be fast enough? Interesting. Very interesting. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, it's probably fine. You can have half the combo. Oh, Wasteland's not going to help. Dryad Arbor going away. Finding a Tabernacle. Ooh, this is some fun. Is Ben going to be able to get rid of all of Matt's lands? Does he have the potential for that? So going to, of course, pay for the Progenitus here. Also keeping around the Wirewood Symbiote. 11 damage comes in. Dryad Arbor. Not the best land drop here. And that is going to do it. So Matt's Progenitus is in fact good enough to get there. We are tied up a game apiece. Progenitus is one of those sideboard cards that I'm not really a big fan of. It does work sometimes. There are just a lot of times where it doesn't, and those feel pretty awful when you potentially have a situation where you could be winning and you end up with a Progenitus instead. But those aren't that common. That would mostly happen when you've drawn your other Craterhoof Behemoth and you're not able to get the optimal creature out of your deck. It does happen. More in Elves than in Brainstorm decks, as you're not able to take the cards from your hand and put them back into your library. Brainstorm, very good at that. That was a big deal with Flash when that deck was in the format, and then later on when it was a vintage deck. Just the ability to draw your combo pieces and put them back into the deck where they belonged. Sometimes Brainstorm was literally better than Ancestral Recall, as you really needed the proper cards in your library to make your Protean Hulk shenanigans happen. And we've got a Dark Confidant. Very interesting. I don't know that this is going to be super effective here. The card advantage from Dark Confidant is incremental and great for kind of grindy games. Elves not usually going to give you that option, but it could draw exactly the type of stuff Ben needs over a few turns. We will see. Offering the trade with the Dryad Arbor. And Dryad Arbors are actually pretty well versed in combat with Dark Confidants. That's certainly a play that I've seen quite a bit of. The ambush Dryad Arbor off of a fetch land. Specifically on Dark Confidant. Those ones hurt. If it gets a Snapcaster or something, it's kind of whatever. But losing your Dark Confidant when it's really a crucial key to continuing the game state, that's pretty rough. So more Elves could have been played if Matt wanted to, but he is just going to leave this as is. Oh, no, he's actually got some. Okay. Oh, wow. I guess there was just a little communication for a second. Elvish Visionary, 3 green floating. And now this Dryad Arbor doing some work, along with Elvish Visionary, grinding some value here. And it makes Dark Confidant feel pretty bad by comparison. This immediate card advantage just piling up. Matt turning his creatures upside down when they've been used. Actually made a pretty nice leather playmat to sequence elves. I should probably get that on the shop. But had a section for all the summoning sick creatures and then the creatures whose abilities had been used, and you just kind of move your creatures around accordingly. Half the mat was creatures with summoning sickness. Usually that side of the board overflows. But having good technical accuracy is important with elves. Making sure that you're able to actually win with your natural order for Craterhoof is important. You got to make sure you actually have enough creatures that can turn sideways when he shows up. And here we go again with the Gaia's Cradle into Elvish Visionary. Oh, Heritage Druid, very, very strong here. And Allosaurus Shepherd, 3 green. It looks like we're going for Allosaurus Shepherd's ability. Oh no, he's going to continue to grind. So it was possible to make all of his guys 5/5s and turn sideways. I think, wow, that looks like it's for the win. What's that other thing? I don't know what that other card is. I think that's just a land. I think that's like an expedition land. So that may have been mislethal. Let me know in the comments if I'm incorrect there. It seems to me like the Birchlore, Quirion Ranger, and both Wirewood Symbiotes would have been able to attack. Maybe even the Dryad Arbor? I think the Dryad Arbor would have needed to be tapped for the 6th and final mana. But 6 mana to make everything a 5/5. And Leovold now, which is going to stop the Sylvan Library. Oh, and looks like Cradle's swapped out for a different Cradle, and then things turning sideways. Having access to that second Cradle definitely changes everything in terms of the usefulness of the Allosaurus Shepherd. Knight of the Reliquary, but I mean, this is just going to be a lot of 5/5s. What is it, 8? 9 creatures? Yeah. 9 creatures turning sideways, and that is going to do it. Ben takes a look at his library and knows that there was no way out of that, as Elves takes it down versus an interesting build of Depths. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.